Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. Here is your favorite 2004 LEXUS GX470, which was featured on this channel in many videos, and it has incredible almost 350,000 miles on the odometer. I'm servicing this rig for the owner in last 3 years maybe. We know it, we keep seeing it. I filmed different videos. It has an air ride in the back. We were replacing those bags and so on. It basically runs perfectly most of the time, but this time the owner said, hey, I have a check engine light and some other lights on in my dashboard. So I said, okay, we will be dealing with it for you. We brought it in. I already set up here the scanner. The hookup, it's right here. You can see it. And let's put the ignition on and see what's happening. When the engine is running, there was check engine light, VSC off and VSC lights illuminated, which many of you already start guessing what it will be. Let's connect to the vehicle. I don't want to pause the video so you can see. Sometimes it takes a few seconds only, sometimes it could take a little bit longer, and we see together here P0057 O2S, which is O2S sensor, heater controlled circuit low, bank 2, sensor 2. It's a code 1 of the 1. So we have only one code, and it basically points on the O2 sensor heater circuit. And that's that confusing moment for many owners on Toyotas, because when they see that VSC light and so on, they think it's regarded to the vehicle's stability control. But somehow Toyota programmed certain codes to show more lights, and this is one of the cases. So you already know where we are heading, don't you? We need to put her on the lift and head underneath. Here you can hopefully see how the lights were on when he arrived. So LEXUS is nicely in the air, and the scanner told us there is a problem with the O2 sensor bank 2S2. So this is a V8 engine 2UZ FE, which is 4.7 liter V8 engine, and we need to find what is bank 2 and find that O2 sensor, which will be also called downstream. So here is the catalyst on the passenger side. Here is the catalyst and O2 sensor on the driver's side. We know that bank 2 is on passenger side. So looking around, right there is the AF sensor, which is upstream. You can see it ahead of catalytic converter. So it's before. Then the exhaust travels down, and right here we can see this O2 sensor. It's a past catalytic converter. We are on bank 2, which is the passenger side, and this sensor has a built-in heater element, and it says there is a low input. Most likely it's burned and it needs to be replaced. So what is our next step? Do you see that wiring connector right there? This is what I need to disconnect, and we will be measuring or testing that heater in this O2 sensor. So this is probably the closest I will get you. To have a space for myself, I need to unclip this connector. Okay, good. And now I have a 4-pin connector with the 4 wires. So here is my O2 B2S2 sensor disconnected right here, and it has 4 wires. And the wire colors are white, blue, black, and black. And what we know, these 2 black ones are the wires for that heater circuit which is inside of the sensor. I will get my multimeter and I will measure the resistance of these 2 black wires. So black and black, this can go off. So these 2 right now on the top, these 2 connectors I will touch with my multimeter, like so, and it's on the setting on the ohms or resistance, and there should be very low resistance. This is the side of the sensor, not the side of the car, right? And I'm watching my multimeter, and unfortunately or fortunately this diagnosis, it's easy because it says open. That means that entire system is burned and I have open. There's no resistance in these wires whatsoever. Let me show you the multimeter side. Right here, it still holds there nicely on black and black. And if you look down here, I have it on the ohms, and no matter how I work it around there, it says open. So we know these wires of that heater are burnt, and the only way you can fix this is to replace the sensor. Before we ever start, I didn't show it, I should have. We always touch these probes to see that it's completely in the zeros. But when we touched that heater, it was open OL. Since I know this needs to be replaced, without even going to my computer to order the part, I will immediately start spraying it with some penetrating oil. I will just apply that TB blaster on those threads to hopefully have easy removal. I have a garbage can here under, so it's dripping in it. It'll go from different angle. This is just to help yourself to break it loose. Anything part of the exhaust system, like these bolts and so on, there is always corrosion from that high heat, so you try to make it as easy as possible on yourself. The size of these oxygen sensors, you can have a 22 millimeter wrench, or you can use a special socket which is for oxygen sensors. Look at that. This one was absolutely easy. Let me put the hand behind it so you can guys see it. It's absolutely easy to crack open. I love it. Look at it. And the baby is out. I bet you that oxygen sensor beside that heater unit was working correctly because we didn't have any other codes. It is what it is. This one unfortunately has to go. You guys all know that anywhere I can, I will go with a Denso company. This is definitely my favorite. They supply Toyota with the parts. Many times you remove the parts from Toyota vehicles, it actually says Denso on it. So all spark plugs are Denso, OEM from the factory. So here is a little bit of that copper anti-seize to put on the thread. This is, here you can see how it comes. You can touch that, no problem. It's not like a light bulbs. And we can confirm that the length of the cable, it was correctly sold to me, because if you buy for the other side, it will actually have a different length. So this is good. It's the same. Now right here on that thread, I supposed to apply tiny bit of this. I have it in the open container right here. This is the same thing, antifreeze, which is based on the copper formula. So I can grab tiny bit of that instead of opening that pouch. This is the purpose of it, is that it can be removed in the future and the thread is not rusted into the exhaust. You don't touch this area, please. You put it only specifically tiny amount on that thread. So don't go too crazy if you ever do it yourself. Okay, here I go carefully. I also don't want to be hitting anything with that tip. And again, if I go behind it so you can see it, right, without connecting that electrical connector yet, that will be later. First I need to screw it carefully in. I can feel that anti-seize. It's going nicely softly in. It's lubricating that thread. I don't have a torque for this. There is a double crush washer, so that will flatten as I'm torquing this, and it will keep it in the place. Up. So once again, 22 millimeter fits on it, or dedicated oxygen sensor socket. I have them somewhere, but I thought people more likely have a 22 wrench at home. Yup, and that's enough for me right there. Now I start wiping off that remaining amount of that lubricant, which I put here to break the rust. And I can connect these two wires. Obviously there still has to be connected. They fit only one way. That entire connector has that special sides. One side has a different pins than the other one. I believe, yes, this is the orientation. It should nicely click together. Let's listen to it. I'm trying not to be in your way. Oh yeah, did you hear that clock? That was it. And we have perfectly installed a new sensor. Now if we did a good job, the diagnosis was correct, and we repaired it correctly, we will be able to erase the code, and it will actually stay away. The hard code you can erase, but it will come back right away. So there's a check engine light. You will see this track. We see VSC track, VSC off. It's on. So let's go and hook to the computer and see if we can delete the code. The condition was repaired or improved, right? 0101. I will be using this. Are you sure you want to clear all data and freeze trace? I will push it one more time. Observe the check engine light and everything. Erase was successful. Press the DTC button to view the current DTCs and IM status. So we are off. If the wire was completely burnt, the check engine light will come pretty quickly back. So let's push DTC. They are rescanning computer after it's running. And as you can see, this code will not come, I can tell you from my experience, it will not come back. Now it has these monitors to finish, but this repair is fixed. Now if I just had time to deal with that squeal. This is last thing which was on item. I believe there's a fan running, so we cannot... There's not much space to do diagnostics. The serpentine belt is perfect, no cracks, but I'm blaming this top idler. I think if I will spray it, it will be immediately quiet, and that needs to be replaced too, but it's already late. It's 5 p.m. He wants to have it back, so I only did 2 services today. His front wheel bearing was completely wiggling, so that's replaced. There's a new one, and that's all I can do in one day, including filming and so on. I'm pretty positive that at least someone will find this video helpful in the future. Thank you for watching. If you like it, give it a thumb up. And always be subscribed. I have way more coming your way soon. I will catch you in the next one, my friend.